team, and they are fast. They're balanced. They got grit. They got speed. They got high skill. They got incredible goaltending. Their blue line is completely balanced. When you look at that, they got skaters. They got grit with guys like Girardi and obviously Hedman's all world. I mean, that team is just and they've been healthy. So I do think this is the year. I'm in Vegas right now, and the odds of them winning the Cup is drastically higher than anybody else.
Are you going to put it down any bets?
No, I mean the one that's intriguing is Boston. A Boston 11-1 is pretty intriguing. That to me is the second best team in the NHL right now.
What are you going to do in Vegas this week, by the way? I mean,
I've been here. I've the last couple of days I've worked. I wrote a story on Bob Mason and obviously his tragic circumstance with losing his wife last week. Today I wrote the expansion story. We're announcing the Masterton nominee for the Wild tomorrow. So I've been working. I've had a couple little craps runs, didn't go well. One good dinner, but I've been working. I mean, I've met with a couple of people with the Golden Knights for some stories that I'm working on. I'm working ahead on a couple other things. So this really has been mostly a business trip. I do have a bunch of friends out here as well. So, today I'll go watch the Twins game. I'll write the story on the Masterton pick, and which I think I can say now because this isn't coming. This is not coming out till tomorrow, right?
Probably not unless you wanted it to.
Okay, I'll wait. I won't say it. And then
no, we can hold this for Friday.
No, it's all right. No, it's okay. So yeah, it's been my last two trips to Vegas. I told you guys about the hospital visit on my last one.
We remember.
And this one's pretty tame. So
where'd you eat, by the way? Where was your good dinner?
I went to the Strip House last night at Planet Hollywood. Awesome steakhouse. Went with LaPanta and his son and his son's friends, and then two of my buddies, and then my casino host was there as well, Dave Winjam, who is just awesome. And I don't know what I'll be doing tonight. Tonight will be tame. There are a couple of people from the Wild I want to get together with tonight, and again, I got to wake up early and write, so it'll be a tame day.
Let's buzz through some more Twitter questions. We have good ones. Russo has said these guys are getting tired of each other. Assuming Fenton knows this as well, what kind of moves could he make to freshen up the room with the locker room?
Well, I mean, he's done it.
And that's the thing. He's already traded.
How many more guys can you get rid of?
Four guys,
Yeah, I mean, he's done it. I mean, this lineup is absolutely a shell of what it used to be. And that's why, to me, it's like, I don't think any Wild fan should be shocked that they're not making the playoffs or even overly disappointed. I mean, just look at this with fresh eyes and the names that are skating on the ice for the Minnesota Wild, and then compare them to the other teams that are around them, and they're just not nearly good enough. Maybe one day they will be. Maybe Fiala will turn into that guy. I'm starting to really have my doubts. There's a lot of warts in his game, and just there's just some issues there that I think he's going to have to work out. I love Donato. Rask is absolutely who he is. Aberg won't be back. So this team just isn't good enough right now.
From Zeke Boyat, do you think that Fenton secretly wanted the Wild to fall out of the playoff race? I added the word secretly.
Do I think? I don't know. I mean, I hope not. But look, I think that Paul recognized that look, this team wasn't good enough with the way that it was currently constructed, but he blew a hole right through it. And when you blow a hole right through something, you better make sure the returns are up to par. And the returns so far have not been up to par for anything other than the Donato trade. So that to me is the bigger concern. I mean, they have created a huge problem, a much bigger problem than they had by adding Victor Rask. Because again, the way their lines are constructed next year, Stahl's back, which I think was in hindsight not a good move.
Yeah, I never got that one. I never understood that.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted him back, you could trade him and get him back.
Right. But even if you couldn't get him back, do you really want to invest in him right now? It just doesn't make sense.
And you didn't have to sign him to a 2-year deal that day, even if you chose not to trade him. So that is going to be a problem, I think. And then you have Koivu coming up with torn ACL, and you have Rask. And so where is Rask playing, or where is Eriksson Ek playing? And if Eriksson Ek's not in the top 9, then that's a major mistake by Paul there. But you're not just going to be able to get rid of Rask. I mean, who's taking him? And so And in terms of just your original question, I mean, Paul was a winner. I mean, he wants to win. He wants to make the playoffs. But I think he started to look at this team and just didn't like what he had. But I just don't think that he made the right moves, in terms of returns.
Hoaglund, Tony Hoaglund, your State Farm agent. He works out of Champlin, but you can work with him wherever you are, via app, via email, via phone, whatever, by mail. We've done all those things with Tony. He's been great to me. He's handled my account. He's handled Michael's account. He also is now offering financial services.
Hey, Minnesota sports fans. This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Hoaglund. I need you all to ask yourselves this question. If you're in an at-fault car accident and you are sued for $700,000, how much of that $700,000 will my current insurance company pay? If you are unsure or can't answer all $700,000, you need to give us a call. State Farm has been number one in car insurance since World War II and number one in homeowners insurance since 1964. For a no-obligation review of your current policies, call us at 763-421-4900 or check out our website at www.champlininsurance.com.
From someone called _Slacks on Twitter, do you ever get that feeling you might have left the garage door open after leaving town? Okay, that's creepy. Twitter, you need to ban this dude or shackle him or give him aggressive thumb massage or something. There's something wrong here.
I'm able to pay attention to my home when I'm on the road through many different applications.
Ooh.
I'm confident it's closed. And I'm confident that Russo-Slacks has been kept out.
Russo-Slacks, you got to know, Michael hired Blackwater to guard his home. So I would just be careful. Wear a body vest, wear body armor if you go stalking him in person. From Kyler Vasferet, are you somewhat excited for the season to be done to get away from what must be a lot of negativity?
At this point, yeah. I mean, the hockey has been horrific. I mean, the fun part of my job, and I think the fun part of a fan's existence, is to watch, is to be entertained, and the Wild have been just an absolutely awful team to watch for the last month. And and a perfect example is the last game. The Wild, we've been saying that this team, because its complete lack of offense right now, has to play the perfect game to try to eke out 1-0, 2-1 victories. And there, the other night, they absolutely outplay the Nashville Predators and play a one-goal game, and literally a one-goal game. And they're the ones that can't even score a goal, despite dominating the scoring chances. And that just says it all. I mean, it's just not fun to cover. And you feel like you're writing the same thing every single night. And it's been very much like the two previous home games. I mean, the Wild's two last home games of that awful one-win homestand that pretty much killed their season. Last time before they went to Washington. I mean, they outplayed the Islanders, and pretty much it was who was the last game? Colorado. I mean, they outplayed both those teams and couldn't figure out a way to get a victory, and so they put themselves in a position where they had no margin for error in any of these games, and they still weren't able to win.
I covered a lot of bad Twins teams, and that's one of the many reasons I was ready to move on to other jobs. You feel like you're writing the same exact story every night, and none of the players really want to talk anymore. It does. Listen, we have good jobs. We shouldn't complain about our jobs, but that internal mechanism is not fun. From Aaron Berger, what team will you be covering in the playoffs?
Probably not. We're fully staffed now. Last year when I covered Vegas throughout, we lacked a lot of writers still. Now we're fully staffed, so I think I'll cover some Iowa games. I think I'll do, obviously, if there's a coaching search, I'll have to cover that. And then it's a lot of deconstructing what happened here. And that's going to be probably a high task. But you're right. I mean, this is the earliest that I'm going to be finished in a long, long time. And so that part of it is very disappointing because you cover. You want to be a hockey writer, and one big reason why I went to The Athletic is to cover the playoffs. But I don't think any of us, when I was hired, ever thought that we would have as many writers as we do now at The Athletic. So I can't blame them for not wanting to, spend a fortune to just have me travel around and cover things when we have national writers and we have local beat writers in every market.
Bite Squad has been great to our network. BiteSquad.com. Download the Bite Squad app. Use the promo code TalkNorth for your first delivery fee waived. But most of you have probably already used the promo code. I recommend Bike Squad because it's a good deal for you. You can get their unlimited membership program. For $5.99 a month, you get free delivery from restaurants within a 4-mile radius. But even if you're paying the fee, you're still saving on parking, gas, hassle. You can get delivered to your office for lunch. You can get delivered for your kids at home. You can get delivered for yourself at home. They'll show up promptly, and the food will be in great shape, and you won't have to do any dishes. So I highly recommend it, and support them because they're supporting us. BiteSquad.com. Best way to work with them is to download the Bite Squad app, and you can pay right on the app. It's a very convenient thing, and we do appreciate their support. From Dave Johnson, Jared Spurgeon can sign a new deal this summer. If you ran the Wild, would you be concerned about an imminent decline due to his age and size? Do you think they would be better off trading him now while his value is at an all-time high?
No.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, everything depends on what you could get. But I absolutely don't see him turning into Eric Stahl or Danny Heatley. I mean, one reason why I'm not concerned of it is the fact that it is his size. So he's not going to just turn into an awful skater, and that guy's not getting quick anytime soon. Now, yes, if he's only going to come here on an 8-year deal, you can't do it. But if you can get him at 5 years before and have his contract end at around 34, I absolutely would do that in a heartbeat. He's their best defenseman. He's their most important defenseman, and that's just the way that I feel.
Is he their best player?
Yeah, and maybe part of it is because the guy never ages. It's just ridiculous. I was talking to him about it a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, it just makes me sick. How he just doesn't get older. So yeah.
Has he started shaving yet?
Yeah. He always has the little creepy, kind of, count mustache. Or whatever,
that's true.
But I wouldn't. But it depends. What can you get? I mean, one guy I will say that the Wild still have a way to get in the summer is William Nylander, and it would probably cost a Spurgeon or maybe even a Dumba. So that's the type of thing. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Nylander. To me, it's like, I don't know. To me, he's a right-handed Fiala in a lot of ways. Only he actually scores points, but he's got a lot of warts in his game. Hey, that was a preposterous statement. I might win the award on that one. Nylander's a better player than Fiala, but I just don't think I would want to give up one of those 2D for him. I just think there are other avenues to go get players this off season, and I look at this blue line right now. And I can't even imagine without Spurgeon the strength of this team. And we saw it this year is what it did is losing Dumba. What happened to their top 4D by just losing one of them. And now if you lose Spurgeon, to me it's going to be the same problems that you have now without Dumba.
From Dave Elliott on Twitter, speculate how this year might have gone with Tom Fitzgerald as the GM.
I mean, that's hard to say. I could tell you they wouldn't have Victor Rask.
Mm-hmm.
But, at the end of the day, I mean, Tom would have probably seen a lot of the same things that Paul Fenton saw and just said, this is not a team good enough to win. But again, it's all about the returns. Look, I have said over and over again, I think it was time for Niederreiter and Coyle to be traded. But you have to get the right returns. And then you compound things by trading Granlund for Fiala because, and I know that Paul hates it when I say this, but, he had this, fixated is a horrible sounding word, but he was so adamant on getting Fiala and looking at him with such a scout's eyes that I think he fooled himself into thinking that this guy is a game breaker. And he is not a game breaker. I mean, it's just not, it's that simple. He doesn't have the electric stick that we all saw. He is what he was in Nashville, and that's a guy that has incredible skills and will be entertaining to watch at times, but he doesn't finish, and he certainly doesn't take care of the puck. In a lot of ways, he doesn't take care of the puck because he clearly doesn't want to be hit in his own zone. And let's put it this way: after these games, the last month, when Marcus Foligno is ripping on his teammates, saying that we have guys in here that want to be too individual and not play within a team concept, you don't have to really stretch too far to try to figure out who he's talking about. There are a certain couple players, and Fiala's one of them. And so now you add all of that together, and it's a major problem. But how Tom Fitzgerald would have addressed the same things that Paul Fenton saw is totally an unknown thing, and we don't know. I mean, I think that